Hello everybody, welcome to episode 15 of 3-Minute Book Reviews, where today we get the pleasure of reviewing my all-time favorite book, The Little Prince. But this version is in French, and this version is in Spanish. And this version is the pop-up version. It's a tiny one, because I have them all. The Little Prince was written by Antoine de Saint-Exupery. He's a French author, and he wrote the most perfect book that you will ever read. The Little Prince is a beautiful book about a pilot that is flying through the desert, and when his plane crashes, he's left stranded on the desert all by himself. After a few days of no food and barely any water, he meets this character called the Little Prince. This little man is the most annoying, most curious, beautiful boy that he has ever met in his life. As the pilot develops a close friendship with the Little Prince, we get to go with the Little Prince on a journey from planet to planet in which he gets to meet all these different characters that end up teaching him a lesson. The Little Prince is portrayed as a kid in this book, and once he starts meeting all of these different adults that have so many problems and so many different personalities and just qualities about them, he is left with the impression that all adults are extremely strange. It is very hard for him as a child to understand why adults worry so much about things that seem so trivial to him, and none of them seem to worry about what's truly important in life. To get to the conclusion that what matters most is what's in your heart. I would give this book 5 out of 5 stars, and if I could, I would give it 1,000,000 stars, because this book is an epiphany on its own. I love that this book pretends to be a children's book, but it's really a book for adults. This book makes you reflect back on when you were a kid and the magic that came with being a kid, where it didn't matter if people said no or they laughed at your face. If you had something in mind, you would achieve it. And guess what? You always did, because that is the amount of belief and trust that you had in yourself. And it makes you wonder, now as an adult, where that went. What happened along the way that made you become the kind of person that the kid version of you swore never to become? And for you to be able to write something that is equally meaningful for a child as it is to an adult, that is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing, I said. This is a book about love and hope and magic, and it's not a book that you can read once and then put it away. It's a book that you have to read throughout different stages in your life, because every time that you read it, it has a completely different meaning. 5 words I would use to describe this book are love, sacrifice, curiosity, innocence, and understanding. And if you want to know why, make sure that you check the description below. My favorite quote of this book is, "All grown-ups were once children, but only few of them remember." And that will be a wrap for today, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me on my review of my favorite book, The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupery. If you like this book, please let me know in the comments what you thought. And if you like this video, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Next week, I want to talk about Remember Mia by Alexandra Burt. So if you want to know what this book is about, make sure that next week you tune in and you don't miss it. Bye!